So I'm Adrienne Fudge, and the name of my business is 40 Dreams Catering. We provide meals to senior citizens and disabled adults in 9 New Jersey counties. And that's done through a Medicaid-funded program called Managed Long-Term Services and Supports, the MLTSS program. And we've been doing this since about 2015. I love my business. I love helping the community. I love feeding seniors, and our mission is to have a positive impact on the health of all of our clients and on the community. My mom was very ill when I was growing up. She had lupus and she was on a restricted diet. So she was unable to eat salt. So I grew up learning how to cook without adding salt to the food. I noticed that if she had any salt, and especially now that she's older, she had any salt, I could see the difference in her quality of life just based on the intake of sodium. So when I started 40 Dreams Catering, it was important to me not to feed senior citizens salt. So we don't cook with any added salt or added sugar. So all of our meals are low sodium and diabetic friendly because the majority of my clients have, hypertension or an autoimmune disease or something where salt and sugar are definitely not their friends. And it's important to me to provide the right types of meals to them. I actually 40 Dreams started as a traditional catering company. So I was doing private catering, corporate catering. I did some work with some celebrities. But in 2015, I was given an opportunity to provide meals to senior citizens. And I jumped at it. And so we've been doing that since 2015. So the last 7+ years, almost 8 years. I grew up in a very traditional family. My parents were married for 59 years until my father passed in 2020. My father wanted me to go to college. I wanted to go to culinary school. He won that battle. I went to college, and when I turned 40, I actually went to culinary school, which is why the name of the business is 40 Dreams Catering. My mother having lupus is the reason why I think that I'm successful, because at a very early age, I had to learn how to jump over hurdles and through hoops and figure things out because she was very, very ill. I'm glad to say she's 91, which for someone diagnosed with lupus in the 70s is definitely a miracle. I have been affiliated with Eiffel for so long. I don't remember what actually led me to Eiffel, but I'm so glad that I found them. Jill Johnson is amazing. The work that she's done over the years, the business continues, the organization continues to evolve with the success circles and with women of color connecting. She's doing tremendous work. And then the making of Black Angels, which I'm not really involved that much in that aspect of the work that she does, but the idea for the success circles is to put a group of experts around an entrepreneur, and so that they have the resources in order to succeed. And so you can get resources like additional legal help, marketing assistance. You can be introduced to people that can help you get money, actually, but you can get the financial support that you need for bookkeeping, and really just understanding your books, right? So a lot of times when business owners start, they don't know what a profit and loss statement is. They don't know what a balance sheet is. They don't know how to utilize them to make their business grow. And Eiffel and Women of Color Connecting get them to that point. Jill's organization provides that information so that businesses can be successful. And so, I can't say enough good things about WOCON and Eiffel and everything that Jill puts. She's like they have like the Midas touch, which I know is kind of an old thing to say, but that's how she is. Like whatever she touches does very, very well. So Eiffel was just starting. It was like 4 years in the making, I guess, at that point. But what's kept me involved with Eiffel is the fact that whenever you have an issue, you can reach out, and if Jill or someone on her team doesn't know the answer, they will help you get the answer. They will help find the answer for you. And you have a lot of organizations that say that they will do that, that they'll be there for you and that they'll help you, but I've just found that Eiffel actually does what they say they're going to do. If you have an issue with your business, whether it's marketing or contract development or anything, merchandising, or even just figuring out your target market and figuring out kind of who you need to speak to, they will assist you. And that makes a world of difference for an entrepreneur, and especially for entrepreneurs who don't know other entrepreneurs, right? That's a major thing. People, entrepreneurs face a lot of challenges that people who work in the traditional setting don't face. And you need to have a resource that can help you develop and help you grow and help you understand exactly what you're doing. When you become, everybody wants to own a business, but they really don't know what that means, right? So when people say that to me now, they're like, oh, I want to be a business owner. I'm like, you think you do, but you really don't know what you're talking about. And because I didn't know, right? So, but having a resource like Eiffel, it makes all the difference. Like, I honestly feel that part of my success is because I have Eiffel and Wokan and Jill Johnson in my corner, and they really will be in your corner. It's like having a group of people, a whole network behind you in order to make sure that you succeed. One of the things, because you always learn and you always grow, right? No matter what the challenge is, the whole reason you go through a challenge is to learn and grow. And one of the most recent things has been getting this building, right? Getting this building, I've been talking about having a building for 5 years, right? But I didn't have, so the business wasn't stable enough 5 years ago to actually purchase a building. We didn't have enough clients. Then we finally got enough clients, but there were other things that had to be worked out. Just learning the ropes as far as buying a commercial property, getting funding, figuring out how to have those conversations with lenders and the sellers, and dealing with, discrimination. Real estate discrimination still exists. I felt like I faced it with purchasing buildings, not this particular building, but with other places that I went to view. And then you have to deal with all the emotional part about that, all while trying to run your business on a day-to-day basis. So I think those are things that Eiffel helped me with. I mean, the network of women that are the other business owners, that's another piece of it, because I could go and call a business owner and be like, hey, Jennifer, like, I don't know what to do about this. And she can give me some advice, or I can call, and so it doesn't have to be Jill. Like, you don't have to talk to Jill. There's so many people. There's such a large network that it just makes it easier to get through. But the financial piece with buying a commercial property was eye-opening for me. And one of the other things that I got out of being affiliated with Eiffel is my mentor. So I have a mentor that I meet with every single week. She volunteers to do this, Beth Colt, and she helps to guide me through situations that I'm unaware of. She also is a business owner. She owns a restaurant. She owns a couple of hotels. And so her being in the food service space is very helpful, because there's a lot of things that happen, there's always like that subculture that you have in every industry, right? So her knowing what that culture is like is beneficial to me in ways that I can't even describe. So I don't know, I feel like when there's a challenge, if I don't know what to do, I know I can call Eiffel, and whether I speak to Jill or Melissa or Jasmine or Amanda, whoever I speak to, they're going to try to help me figure that out. And that's like, there's nothing better than that. I already had a relationship with Eiffel prior to this current business, right? So I wouldn't say I made changes because I had Eiffel. So before I did anything, I contacted Eiffel, so then I didn't have to make those changes. So what they did was eliminate a lot of time, heartache, tears, and sweat in maybe researching different things or figuring things out on my own. They eliminated all of that part of it so that I could get things done more quickly and more effectively. So I wouldn't say that there were lots of changes that were made. I would just say that having them supported me in my growth and making contacts that I needed, and just, changing my mindset. I think that was one of the things, and that's one of the things that Jill always would say to me. She's like, you have to start thinking like a CEO. and not a like mom and pop shop. And so she drilled that into my head constantly. She's like, Adrienne, you have to start thinking like a CEO. You can't just, you know, continue to cook. You can't do all of these things. You have to hire people in order to make this business grow. If you want to, as she always says, right, grow, scale, and exit, then you have to be a CEO. And I think that's one of the things that if I had to look at something that changed, I would say that Jill helped me to change my mindset and how I looked at my business. From being, I mean, I always thought I could grow and go nationwide because it's a business that is run, it's, you know, the program, that Medicaid funded program is a nationwide program. So I'm like, well, if it's a nationwide program, of course I can go nationwide, but there's so many things that take place into getting to that point. But Jill has she has done a great job, I think, of helping me to move from like the day-to-day, working in the day-to-day, and then putting on that CEO hat so that I can grow this business.